The average car payment in America is $500. And knowing that the average salary for young people between 20 and 25 is $46,000 a year, which is around $3,200 after tax a month, only with federal taxes, it is no wonder that cars are the second biggest expense of young Americans in America. Young Americans in America. So it's also the second best place where people can actually save money, especially when it comes to buying the first car, as it can set you up financially positively for the next couple of years. Hi YouTube, it's Jashi, and today we're gonna discuss how to save money on your car when it comes to what to choose, where to buy, how to insure, and how to maintain. But before we start, if you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe to bless the YouTube algorithm. Also, let me know in the comments which one was your first car, how much it costed you, and if you think it was a good purchase. Buying your first car, what an exciting moment, yet most of us tend to do it with our heart, not with our brain. 4 years ago, I used to work in a dealership, and I noticed that 3 out of 5 customers ended up buying a car they could barely afford just because they liked it a little bit more, which set them up for sure negatively for the next couple of years when it comes to financial freedom. When it comes to buying your first car, there are multiple factors involved. How much it costs, how much does it cost to maintain, how much does it cost to replace parts when they will break up. I just noticed I said break up. These stupid Italians. How much does it cost to insure and to run in terms of miles per gallon? So let's start with the cost of the car. Most young people are broke, yet many choose to finance a $20,000 car, even though there are cars for less than $10,000 or even $5,000 that do the same exact job. Of course, you want to look at cheap used cars with okay mileage that are fairly reliable. You also need to consider the maintenance costs, such as changing oil, replacing parts, or fixing something broken, as it can vary across multiple models. A simple oil change on a Bugatti car can cost you $20,000 to $25,000 compared to a $50 oil change on a Toyota Corolla. Now, based on customer websites, dealer knowledge, and also my personal knowledge, here are some models that are known to make it to 300,000 to 400,000 miles with little maintenance costs. We have the Toyota Yaris, Toyota Corolla, and the Camry. We have the Honda Civic and the Honda CR-V, which these are probably the most known of. We also have more unexpected models like the Volvo V70 and the Volvo 850, and last but not least, the Volkswagen Jetta and Golf, especially if you're able to find the diesel versions. All these cars are able to make at least 25 miles per gallon, which is okay mileage. Most of them go even over 30 miles per gallon. If you're able to find the diesel Volkswagens, they even go over 40 miles per gallon. Now the second question is, where do you look for these cars and where do you buy them? Most people search for cars on dealer websites or third-party used car websites like Car Gurus and Edmunds or Carvana. If there's one thing I learned when working at a dealership is never buy or service a car at a dealership. They are in business to make money, so they will charge you more for a used car compared to a private seller because they're in the business of making money. And on top of that, they also tend to charge you some extra dealer fee, like processing fees, that in some cases can range up to even over $500 on top of the car price. You will be able to find the same model on websites like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for much cheaper. And since it's mostly private sellers, so people like me and you selling their car, you'll also be able to negotiate much more compared to negotiating with a dealership. And I already can hear you saying, how do I know if it's not a lemon? If you're like me and you work on cars, there's no reason to discuss or talk as you know already what to look for. However, if you don't know a lot about cars, what you can do is go to a private mechanic, ask them to come with you after work to check a car and pay them a $50 to $100 fee, so you know if the car is good, what amount of work it needs, and how much would it cost you to fix the little things that need to be fixed, if there are any. And if you look, for example, at this Toyota Yaris, you can find similar models for much cheaper compared to what dealers are selling it. Last year, I was able to buy a Volvo 850 for $500 that needed a little work, talking about $300 of work, which now has 50,000 miles more than when I bought it, and it had no major problems. The next question is, how am I able to buy the car? Now, being a sub $5,000 car, if you can go cash, that's the best way to do it. However, many of us are broke, so financing will be the, let's say, second option. Being a car that you're buying from a private seller, in most cases, bank would not give you a car loan unless you meet specific guidelines. However, there's still ways to get a loan, one of which is a personal loan. Now, keep in mind, a personal loan may have a higher interest rate than a car loan. But then again, we're talking about smaller loans compared to $20,000, as these cars are very cheap. I mean, we can look here in an example. If we buy a car for $5,000 and we have a loan term of 2 years, which is much shorter than most of loan terms, which are 4, 5, even 6 years, and an interest rate of 6%, which honestly is pretty high but doable, your car payment will be $221, which is less than half than the average car payment. Now, even better, if we take the Toyota Yaris we found on Facebook Marketplace for $2,250, our car payment will be only $99 a month, which is 1/5 of the average car payment. A big saving. The last big cost of owning a car, of course, is insurance. Now, insurance is mostly based on how old you are, how well your driving record is, and how long you've been driving. So if you're 16 and you get to drive the car of your parents, have them add you on their insurance so you get to have some of those, let's say, insurance and driving years for a little time, which will lower your insurance in the future. If you're older than that and you're buying your first car, just forget what I just said. Your best bet is to go on insurance quote websites like zebra.com that enable you to shop throughout multiple insurance companies, find the best insurance for you, and get your contract. Of course, after you get a quote, you can still talk to the insurance company and negotiate some of the terms. Now here, you have to be very honest and lower your ego when it comes to insurance. If you think you're a very good driver, very safe driver, you're not on the phone and everything, maybe you don't need as much coverage as you're less likely to do an accident. If you're a new driver, you don't feel very safe on the road, maybe a better insurance might be better for you. Now, please keep in mind, this is not financial advice. Now, keep in mind that the average low coverage car insurance for 20-year-olds is around $1,000. So if you're in that range or under that range, you're already having a pretty good contract. So as you can see, in terms of how much you're paying, how you're buying, where you're buying, how you're insuring and everything, you could save thousands of dollars on your car by purchasing the right one and purchasing it correctly. I hope this video gave you some better insights on how to save money on your car. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments. And again, let me know which car was your first car, how much you paid for it, and if you think it was a good purchase. Thank you for watching. Ciao!